Well, a very good sunny afternoon to you on the 23rd of July 26. You've been neglecting your chores, Andrew. No, I'm trying to prioritise what's most important at the moment, and I mean a damp day is sufficient for cutting that up. Well, maybe not damp, but certainly cloudy. My wood pile seems to have shrunk, but that's not a problem because I've stacked it elsewhere. All my wood is baked, tinder dry, so it's really good. You're probably saying, well, what's all this? Well, what's happened is the council have come to cut down a round tree. I did tell them, you can see exactly what's happened. The children, about 3 or 4 years ago I think it was, whacked it with a big bloody pole. I went out and says to them, "You're killing the tree, you," to the young boy. And he just looked at me blankly, as children do. And no sooner had I gone away and I heard the whacks again, I just left him to it. But I went out the next morning and I was always in tears. They had completely destroyed all the bark around the tree. I might have mentioned in one of my previous uploads that if you do that to any tree, it'll kill it. The bark needs to go right round. It can survive a chunk out of it, or even a large area, but if the whole bark circumference has been damaged, then it's a dead tree, I'm afraid. So the child doesn't know that by killing a round tree, you will have lifelong bad luck. Sorry to be so dismal on a sunny day about this, but it is the truth. Cutting ash trees, I mean there's an ash tree here, sorry about the sunshine. That's an ash. It looks like a round, but it's an ash tree. Mountain ash. The round trees are different, it produces berries. Everything's so dry. But anyway, the contractors came earlier and they came and shut my door because the last time I got my trees, the birch snap cut down, he stipulated I wanted the wood, so he very kindly came to my door and I happened to be here because I was cutting a hedge at the back. Not the full hedge, just because it was kind of sticking out a wee bit for the postman and delivery people. So anyway, he said, "You want the wood?" I said, "That'd be great." So I've carried it over. And one thing, I've called this upload Nosy Stratharn. There's a reason for this. Everything's absolutely torched. I can't continue standing here all day with a watering can. And this is why I didn't put plants on the doorstep, because it's like, well, it's almost like living in Khartoum, Sudan, sitting on that doorstep, which is currently about 40 degrees Celsius. Quite cool for July, actually. 40 degrees Celsius, but they're having thunderstorms. So you can imagine the humidity as well as 40 degrees heat. Unbearable. So the flowers are all absolutely loving the sunshine. The Michaelmas daisies and this yellow plant, yellow flower plant I could never get the name of. No matter how hard I try, I just can't find the name of it. Only once. I told you this before. "Hello there. Are you all right? You getting some honey, are you?" Well, getting some nectar for the honey," said the bee to Andrew. 10,000 trips to collect, was it 10,000 trips by a bee will make 1 teaspoon of honey. Everything is absolutely baked beyond belief this year. Probably the worst I've seen it, to be perfectly honest. It has been a very dry spell. Intense heat as well, so everybody's needing a drink. Oh, my sweet peas, I forgot about you lot. Oh, Andrew, get the watering can in here. I'm sorry, I completely forgot about you, chaps. But what I meant about nosy stuff there, I mean, I mentioned it a couple of times on this channel, how it's the only place on earth where people, they just can't mind their own business. I was carting the wood from the other side of the fence over in the green space area, and every car slowed down, and even though I wasn't staring at them, I glanced, I could see them, their heads turned, facing, wondering what on earth is he doing? Carrying logs, does that belong to him? What's he doing? Has he cut that tree down without permission? All this sort of fucking stuff is going through their heads. And everything's bait. You can see, look, Andrew, this is neglect in some respects. You should have had the watering can in here. I've had it several times, but, well look, you gave water to the calendulas and they came away again. There's not a lot I can do actually. It's a fighting, a losing battle. You put water onto that, it just evaporates. It's, the sun's just too intense, I'm afraid. It is the third week in July after all. And sadly these, well, I'm going to have to get the watering can out. If there's no rain forecast in the next couple of days, I'll have to, well definitely this evening, have to get these sweet peas watered. In fact, I might just do that just now. They're in the shade so they won't be scorched. But that's another supply of decent wood. I mean that particular pile, lucky if that lasts what, maybe 10 days, fortnight in the winter. And it's not easy chopping that stuff, it's all kind of knotted and that, but we'll do our best. It's not completely dead, this tree, that's a surprising thing. There was a little bit leaf on them, but did I mention this in a particular upload that I didn't put on my computer? Well, I didn't put it on my channel. I think I did, Andy. Yeah, it's still quite green there. So this might have to do until next year actually. The oak's going to provide a good flame this coming winter. They've been back at me again for solar panels. I told them that I don't have any room. She says, well, on your roof? I says, well, no, but I don't want all these contraptions in my house, and I don't want any heat pumps bloody, you know, surrounding my house, creating a freaking white noise. You just got to tell these people to beat it. Fortunately, the guy I spoke to, I said to him, do you actually believe in the job that you do, about climate change? And he I best not say, actually, I don't know who's watching the video. But let's put it another way, the consensus is that climate change is just, it's just complete nonsense. And although we've got a hot dry spell, it is a El Nino year, and oddly enough years ending in 6 for some reason seems to be the hottest of all. And you know what happens after a hot year? A hot summer? Correct. You get a very bad winter. Very bad winter. As nature tries to balance itself out. There'll be constant precipitation. Miserable also. soaking wet leaves everywhere, and probably plenty of snowfall in the colder months. I think so. You'll see. I haven't seen the cat since Wednesday. No, I haven't seen the cat since Tuesday morning. I've got a feeling that she's coming to my bedroom window in the middle of the night, i.e. about 4:30 in the morning or something, because I seem to be waking in for no reason at that time. And I think she's on the prowl at 4:30 in the morning looking for something to eat. And she says, why is Andrew not answering the door? Why is he not coming to the door? I'm sure I'm loud enough. I presume that's what it is. I've not actually heard them yelling, but I've got a feeling that's what's happening. She's coming around very early. I don't think she likes the heat. Any days it's been really hot, she's been in the coolest part of the garden, or lying in my kitchen floor for hours. I haven't done a lot of travels this year actually. I've been doing quite a lot of stuff, believe it or not, and also I've had a lot of well, admin to do. Not admin, just bloody things. I said to somebody today, I said, well, I can easily go west, but I said, I was up in Argyllshire on Saturday, and sometimes you just know what's around every single corner. You've done it that often, and it doesn't matter where I go now. It's although I did have a fancy, I've said before, I fancy going up to Port Appin. I think I might actually do that tomorrow if the weather's guaranteed to be sunny tomorrow. I might shoot up to Port Appin. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Andrew. But first of all, let's get the watering can and give these plants a damn good drink, eh? Oh, look at the daisies. It's worth all the effort to see that in your garden. But I'm afraid this winter coming, I will have to be pretty brutal, and I will have to dig up a lot of plants, because unfortunately this yellow one, as pretty as it is absolutely choked out everything else. And I mean, it's not a big problem. I mean, it's a floral garden, and it's you're getting all these blooms, but these will die back, and when we get the winds and rain, a lot of this will start to flatten down, and it looks horrid. Despite all the staking up that I did, the plants are stronger than the string. I have used wire in the past, but it's quite expensive to do that. You know, garden wire is not cheap by the metre. Proper plastic coated wire, that is. So the garden's looking a bit tired in many quarters, but if you look at most people's gardens at this time of year, they're exactly the same, unless they're obsessional and they're out, you know, 8:30 in the morning until 9:30 at night. Although this area that I've done has come up really well, so I'm pleased that I put in the effort for that. I've not loaded that. Anyway, I should have stopped talking. But if I'm calling this Nosy Strathern, then we probably need more examples, eh? I suppose in a way, if you're in the queue, I've noticed as well in the co-op, if you're in the checkout queue, or the tobacco booth or whatever, and you're involved in conversation, either the next person in the queue is listening to every damn word you're saying intently, or the employed assistant is got one ear in your direction and one ear listen to that drivel that they talk on those headpieces. I don't know what they talk about. I have no idea. I think it must be something to do with shoplifting. It can only be a person with white t-shirt is just walking past the jams at the moment. It looks like he's selected a jar of jam. Make sure he presents his jar of jam at the checkout. I'm sure that's what it is. Because they can't be fucking talking to each other, having a chinwag when they're meant to be working. And all the co-op staff, everywhere you go has got these things. So it's mass, what do you call it, it's obviously company policy. So I've been picking yesterday. They're alright, I mean, beautiful plants. This is the pink-headed Yarrow. And I'll just put the oven on to dry these ones off. Remember, if you're drying off, it's an open oven door. I mean, you can leave them in the sunshine. I could leave these for quite a while, and they would dry off just the same way in the hot sunshine. Well, they take a bit longer, you see. So I find the method I use is the best. I dare say if I'd stuck these out the last 4 hours in the hot sunshine, they would have been a bit crispy by now. But, beautiful plants and lots of goodness in that as well, but not as much goodness in the pink ones as there are in the white ones, you see. Just different variety. It's very time consuming foraging, but it's very worthwhile, and it's a very cost effective way of bringing lots and lots of vitamins and nutrients, essential vitamins and nutrients into your body. Something that's completely lost in cooking, and something that doesn't actually exist in processed food at all, even though the labels indicate there's nutrients. They're not. They're basically chemicals, and that's why people are ill. They're not getting enough natural goodness from the food that they now consume, compared with even just 40 or 50 years ago. Certainly when I was a child, the food was, you could taste food, you could taste fish. Fish tasted like fish, and meat, beef, pork, all tasted really, really well. In fact, one of the treats at my granny's often was a great big bloody mutton chop. You're not allowed to get mutton now. Let me go over and chat for a minute. You can't buy mutton. Well, you can, but not in the way we used to. It's actually not legal to serve in a butcher shop mutton alongside lamb. Can you believe that? It's absolutely crazy, these rules that were brought in by the EU. If you go into a butcher shop, you ask for mutton, they say, well, don't have any. Well, have you got any lamb? Oh yeah, I've got plenty of lamb. Not a big... Well, lamb's very expensive, always has been. Well, not always, but it is. In the last 50 years, it's... well, it's like everything. It's... farmers have sold off most of the dairy cattle because there's no money in it for them. Simply they're getting undercut by supermarket chains, and the milk is then taken to these mass producers, and whatever they do to the milk is disgusting. I'm not going to name the company, but most people go and take it off the shelf. I think I've mentioned before on this channel, if you take a bit of that milk, you get it's got a name on it. It's not what do you call it, a supermarket brand milk. But if you just pour it on the counter and go back to it 15 minutes later, you'll see all the grease and oils. It's awful. It's really bad for you. And of course, the Isle of Gear milk that I was buying for several years, the Scottish government told them to stop. Well, the Scottish government informed them that they couldn't no longer put milk into glass bottles. What is absolute disgrace. It's these glass bottles are cleaned to very high specification. There's no bacteria in the milk, and of course the milk is pasteurised in this day and age. It never used to be, but that was to stop tuberculosis. But certainly the Isle of Gear company, as a result of this mandate from the Scottish government, those bloody nationalists decided it wasn't worth their while to repackage all the milk in plastic, and therefore they ceased to produce milk, and thousands and thousands and thousands of customers and all the retail units that supplied it had to either go without milk or drink muck. So I no longer drink any milk. I just I'll get a little bit cream for the cat, and if I'm using it for my porridge, I will. Very sad day, that Isle of Gear. They continued to make the rice cream, of course, and other dairy products, but no longer supply the milk. And the milk was absolutely brilliant. It was the milk that I grew up with in the 60s and 70s, and probably into the 80s when I give out. You would take a pint of milk and guzzle it, no problem. Not any longer though. So I suggest foraging as much as you can for whatever's in season. And as I say, I've got an ample supply of the Yarrow now. I sent off the box to the gentleman, and hopefully you will follow my instructions and get healed. The what do you call it, Andrew? The only problem I've got just now is this beautiful weather, and when you're coming home, you've got to make sure everything's all dried away and stuff, you know, and the last place you want to be is indoors in a darkened kitchen, doing all this work when you should be out enjoying the glorious sunshine. But I'll probably go up and get something else tonight up the glen. As I say, it's free, and no one questions you, unless you, of course, you're digging up the roots of the plant. That's a different matter altogether. But anything I cut will regenerate at least. The whole purpose of a plant, if you cut it back like this, if I cut this geranium here, it will then reflower, because the whole point of a flower is so the plant can reproduce seeds. So it's waiting to get seeds developed to have more plants. If I cut them, then they have to reflower to go through the whole process again. That's why you see many gardeners deheading their plants so that they don't go to seed. And likewise with grass, if you left the grass just to grow, it would eventually turn to seed. And that's the germination process, the rebirth, the cycle of death and rebirth.